everybody. Welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie, Mandy.
And I am here with Jessica and Jessica.
I'm still here in two forms. Okay, so Mandy, tell them about today's video. What are we doing?
Well, today's video is all about the homeless heroine.
Yeah.
You guys have been asking for it. We are going to deliver.
Yeah, we managed to scrounge up 10 homeless heroines.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But before we start with that,
well, hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on a video from us.
Mm-hmm.
And let us know, what are some of your favorite homeless heroines?
Yeah.
Or books with this trope in it.
Yeah, I like them. They're just hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, well, let's get started. So, I know that you are going to be so surprised by this, but the first book I have is a Devon Perry book. She actually has a homeless heroine. So this is, I know, shocker, right? So this is Rally by Devon Perry. This is the third book in her Treasure State Wildcats. You can read it as a standalone. It does have amazing audio as well. This is about Faye and Rush. So Faye is in college and she is homeless. And she will go to like campgrounds and like camp out and those kinds of things. And one day she runs into Rush, who is the football star. Like, he's going to go big places. He is the one guy on the college team that they are sure is going to get into the NFL. And he loves to go out camping on this property that his family owns, or out in this area where his family has like the camping equipment. He has a trailer and they go out there and do that. And he sees Faye out there one night and they get talking, and then they end up having a one-night stand, which leads to Faye becoming pregnant as a homeless college student. So this is their story, and it was really good.
Devon Perry likes her heroines pregnant.
She does, and I do not have a problem with that at all. I actually gave this book 5 stars, so what?
I didn't say it was a problem. I'm just
it's not a problem. I enjoy that. I know that I can go to her and get a baby situation most of the time. Sometimes sometimes not, but most of the time, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, okay, what's your first homeless heroine?
Okay, my first homeless heroine is Zoe and Home Game by Odette Stone.
Oh, yeah.
So Ryan he's a little bit lonely. He's a little bit lost, trying to figure stuff out. And really, he's trying to finish his taxes, and he's getting really frustrated trying to input them into his computer. He's at a cafe working on them, and there's a lady sitting by him, and he thinks he loses everything, and he's like really frustrated. And she leans over and is like, hey, just do da 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 da. And he does that, and it works. And so he decides that he will pay her to input all of his receipts and things for him. And that's how they kind of start to get to know each other. And then one day she like panics and has to leave, and she's like really stressed out, and he's like, I can give you a ride, like no worries. And she's like, no, and like bolts. And so he decides to follow her, and he discovers that she's homeless and that she lives in that she's staying at a homeless shelter. And that is when he decides to step in and fix this situation, because he's a hockey player. He has a lot of money. He can take care of this situation very easily. But as we know, a lot of times our homeless heroines have a lot of pride, and they aren't just going to let somebody sweep in and make everything better.
Yeah.
As easily as our heroes would sometimes like them to.
Exactly.
I loved this one a lot. It was a 5-star read for me.
Yeah. Okay. All right, the next one that I have is another one that I really loved a lot. This is Stone Vows by Samantha Christie. This one you're questioning the whole time. Is she homeless? Is she on the run? Like, what's going on? We don't quite find out until way into the book. But this is about Elizabeth and Dr. Kyle Stone. So Kyle is a second-year resident, and he gets put on, they rotate around in the hospital, right? Like you do ENT one week, and then you do, gastroenterology one night. You just kind of move around. Well, he is on his OB ward, or his OB stint, And that is where he meets Elizabeth. She comes into the hospital and she's frantic and she's bleeding and she's heavily pregnant and she's afraid that she's losing the baby. And so he, talking to her, he can tell something's not quite right. They put her on bed rest at the hospital, and it's only like overnight, and then she goes away and then comes back again a few days later, bleeding once again. And so Kyle's suspecting that she is homeless and that something major is going on. He puts her in the hospital as a patient, as an inpatient, and it gets noticed right off the bat that there's something between them. He spends a lot of time with her to the point that the head doctor actually assigns her as his only patient for that time, and things go from there. But like, what's really happening, you kind of want to know there. So where'd you go? Oh, there was that
What I
one.
miss?
You missed the doctor patient pregnant lady homelessy situation.
I'm aware of what the book is.
Well, that's all you missed.
The second generation story.
Yeah.
All right.
Next.
Are you ready for mine?
I am, very much so.
Okay, so next I have Before Us by Julie Ann. So Zach's wife, Susanna, is terminally sick and she has very little time left. They don't know how much, and they hire a housekeeper so that Zach can just kind of really be focused on her and not, all of those mundane tasks. So they hire this housekeeper, Emerson, and Emerson ends up really just becoming really good friends with his wife. And she actually starts to feel guilty that Zach is paying her to be there cleaning when most of the time she spends just with Susanna. And they become like really, really close friends. And then Susanna does end up passing away, but her wish was for, oh, hold on, I need to back up. Sorry. They become really close friends. And one day Zach goes out for a jog and sees Emerson in her car, and he realizes very quickly by assessing like the stuff in her car and everything that she is living out of her car. And he's like, you can't stay here. And so him and Susanna invite her to come live with them. And she becomes a very good, close friends with Susanna and really helps her during a very difficult time. And when Susanna does pass away, her wishes were for Emerson to be able to continue to stay in the house and work, pursue her own dreams and that sort of thing, but have a home basically. And so Emerson and Zach are now living together, and they have this shared trauma bond kind of Susanna passing away. But he loved his wife a lot. You can't just get over that really quickly. So I just love this one so much. It's angsty. It's very emotional. Highly recommend it.
Hey. All right. So the next book I have is Mafia, Homeless Heroine. Yeah. So this is Fractured Secrets, and it's by Hallie Jenner, and you can read it as a standalone. It is the second book in her Lies of the Underworld series, but again, you would totally get it if it was a standalone, if you read it as a standalone. So this is about Gabriella. At the beginning of this book, we find out that Gabriella is at a hospital with her mother, who is dying at this point. She has cancer, not much time left at all. We're talking like minutes to hours or whatever, just not much time. And her mother is having her go over all the things that she has taught her over the years, because Gabriella and her mother have been on the run. Gabriella was conceived when her mother, who was a mafia wife, had an affair with a different mafia don. And so if she is found, then she, her life is on the line. And so her mother has told her that you have these two half siblings over here, but you also have this other half sibling from your father's side. And the one that is safe is this other half sibling from your father's side. And so she's like, if anything's to happen, go to him, but try to stay away from mafia in this area in general. Her mom dies quickly, and now she's on the run, but she's living out of her car, and she is trying to make ends meet. She's trying to figure things out. And that is when she actually runs into her brother, who is a part of the mafia, and this is the half brother on her father's side, and he is best friends with Lorenzo, who is the don of this mafia. And he takes her in and he protects her and he keeps her in his home. And that things happen because they just do. She's living with the stud of the mafia. Stuff is gonna happen. But people are still after her because of what her mother did. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Note to self. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
You can't just live with the stud of the mafia. Like, things are going to happen, okay? In books.
Should we write that on like a post-it?
Write that down. That is important.
Okay, important to note.
Important to know. All right, what do you got next?
Okay, next I have Unexpected by Elizabeth Aten. I love this book so much. It's one of my favorite books. So we have Ava. She is one of those people, like life literally just keeps knocking her down. She is trying so hard to better her situation, and it doesn't matter what happens, it just goes wrong every time for her. She is really struggling. She's homeless. Nothing is going her way. And one night she just decides to have basically like a fuck it night. She just decides to take one night for herself, and she goes to a bar and goes out drinking alone, and she runs into this really hot guy, Wit. And Wit is also kind of there on a whim, where he is not a partier. He has a 4-year-old daughter. He's a rock star. He just wants to get home to his daughter. He doesn't buy into all of the rock star things. And so he's there he's not trying to party it up or anything. And so the two of them hit it off. They decide to have a one night fling together without exchanging any names. And that's like really out of character for both of them. And I'm just going to leave that there because so much more happens in the book, and I don't want to give away any spoilers, but it is phenomenal.
It was really good. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Those one night stands, guys, you gotta exchange information. If these books have taught us anything, it's always exchange the information. Okay.
Post-it note that too, people.
Yep. There's some more words of wisdom for you. Just write that down. Okay, so the next book that I have is Keeping Denver. This is by Sandy Alvarez and Crystal Daniels. They normally write MC. This is a different book for them, and I really enjoyed this one. So this is about Denver. She is our heroine. She is homeless, and at night she has to get to the shelter in order to have a place to sleep. That is just the thing, right? She's really down on her luck. And one day she's at the library, which is a free, it's open to the public and it's warm, and that is where she can be. And she makes friends with this elderly librarian, this gentleman at the library, and he tells her about a job that I think it was his grandson works here or something, and he tells her about this job opening. And so she goes and she applies for the job, and she gets it, and she's going to be working for Callan. Callan is a hard ass. Callan is, this big CEO. He wants it his way or the highway, and he's just an asshole to her. And so she's been working for him for a short period of time, and he insists that she stays late one day, which makes her too late to get to the shelter. And so she hunkers down to sleep on the street, and that is when Callan finds her, and he is furious. And shit happens from there. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what do you got next?
Okay, next I have Wolf by Kate Oliver, and I do want to just point out really quick that this does have like daddy dom and some age play, so if that's not your thing, then this wouldn't be a book for you, but I just wanted to point that out. I don't feel like it's a heavy theme, but it is part of the story. So we have Lucy. Lucy is homeless. She was in a bad relationship, so she's beaten up, and she's like hunkering down in kind of like this construction site. She's not dressed for the weather or anything. And Wolf shows up. And Wolf feels like he's this scary, dark person, but he feels like for her and decides like he can't just leave her there. So he's like, you're gonna come home with me. But he does have kind of that dominant side. And so he has to try and figure out, like, is she gonna be into this? Is this something she needs or wants, and that sort of thing. But I really like how gentle he is with her, even though he's kind of got this scarier persona.
Okay.
It's a little bit shorter too, so if you're looking for a shorter read for the homeless heroine as well.
Yeah. Okay, so my last book is one that you and I both love. We love the whole series. It's just the whole series is great. So this is The Pucking Wrong Man by C.R. Jane. This is the dark hockey books. I mean, if you haven't heard of this, time to pick it up. This is the fourth book in the series. You can read it as a standalone, but you're going to get so much more enjoyment if you read the whole series. But this is about Camden and Anastasia, or Anna. So Anna is a homeless ballerina, and she's been dealing with an injury that almost cost her her career, but she's out there ballerinaing it up out there. And you have Camden here. He takes his elderly, gropey neighbor, who makes appearances throughout the book, to the ballet one night, and that is where he sets eyes on Anna. And if you've read these books, you know that the minute these guys set their eyes on the heroine, they will do anything in their power to keep the heroine. Like, they will manipulate anything and make anything happen. And that's what happens. He sees Anna, and it all goes downhill from there. He just knows that she has to be his, and so we go from that.
I feel like you had some understatements there.
You what?
I feel like you had a little bit of some understatements.
A little bit. I mean, these books, they're dark, but they don't feel dark because of the humor in them.
Yes.
And the relationship between the guys, all the hockey players, and because I think I forgot to say he's an NHL hockey player, known as Hero. I love the series so much.
Me too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, what's your last one?
I need to get caught up in it.
I'm caught up in it. I need to do the football one now.
I have 2 C.R. Jane books to read.
Better get at it. I need to read the Wrong Quarterback, and then the next one's coming out soon for that. Unless it's already out. The audio is coming out soon.
There's 2 books out in that series.
Okay, so I have to get caught up in that.
Yeah, you do.
There's another one coming this summer, I thought. Unless that's just the audio that's coming this summer.
So the actual paperback you can't get until like August, so that's why I've been holding off reading it.
Yeah.
It has to do with like her getting picked up and stuff, which is wonderful for her. It just kind of throws off the publishing, but I think then it writes itself after the releases right now.
Yeah. So.
All right. Okay. So my last but not least homeless heroine is Kyra in Hooked on You by Nikki Ash. So we have Ryder. Ryder is a billionaire, and he's married, has a like 2 or 3 month old daughter. The nanny isn't able to come in, and his wife basically freaks out because she wants nothing to do with the baby. He tries so hard to get her help, and she's like, look, I don't have postpartum. It's nothing like that. I don't want to be a mom. I just wanted your money. And he is horrified because he loves his daughter so much. So he goes ahead and pays her off, and she just takes off. So it's just him and his little girl. And like I said, he's a billionaire, so he doesn't really have to work. So he just goes into the office a couple times a week, and they have on-site childcare that his daughter goes to. And that's where Kira comes in, because Kira gets a job there, and she has a 4-year-old daughter, and they let her bring her daughter with her. So it works out perfect for her. And she is quite smitten with Ryder's little girl, which creates a little bit of a, I don't say bond, but conversation between the two of them. Well, one day, Ryder notices that when Kira and her daughter leave, they get in the SUV, but instead of driving down to exit the parking garage, they drive up. And so he's like, what's going on? Like, he's confused and just goes to check to make sure everything's okay. Well, when he gets, to the upper level, he discovers that they're actually living out of their SUV. And he's a billionaire. He's like, this is not okay. Like, this isn't okay. And she immediately panics, thinking that he wants to take away her daughter. He's going to turn her in and that sort of thing. And he's like, no. I want you to come live with me. You can just be my nanny while you figure things out. And from there, she ends up taking him up on the offer. But she is also on the run. So we have like a whole nother element that's going to come into play there. I really enjoyed it.
All right, guys.
I was going to say I really love a good homeless heroine, but that doesn't sound appropriate or nice.
No. I do like a good heroine. Like that. I do like a good
trope.
Heroine on the run as well, but that's another one that's hard to say out loud. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay.
I enjoy the story, not what they're going through.
Yes. Yeah. it just
But
adds something to the story.
I enjoy like the alpha man that comes in and takes charge. I like that.
Yeah. It's kind of like, no, oh, I was going to say, those are the kinds of men when you ask them what they want for dinner, they can actually tell you.
You think the alpha men can do that?
No, honestly, no, because my husband can't. My son can't. My dad won't. I don't think so. I think it's just a man thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it has anything to do with being alpha. I think
No,
it's
they just can't. Fictional men. Fictional men are good. So, okay. Well, that's it for Homeless Heroine.
Make sure to like and comment below. We love hearing from you. And check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and usually Wednesdays for new videos from us.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.